Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Vagaro's presentation of the profitable salon owner, where our motto is to get salon owners profitable
fast.
really fast.
Good morning.
And you know, Kath, I was thinking about it. I was counting today, and you realize that today is the 37th webinar that we have done for Vagaro Salon Systems. That's pretty amazing. It means we're starting our fourth year as the business resource for Vagaro Salon software.
Wow, that went by in a flash.
It did, didn't it? When you start looking at it and you think about all the information that we've acquired and passed on over the past 36 months, it's really been inspiring and such a great venue for us to share business tips for the incredible industry that we work in.
Yeah, and as I say, if you take even one golden nugget from one of those webinars and act on it, it can substantially change your income.
And here's the other thing too, it also substantially changes your outlook on life too, because by allowing yourself to be open to change, it means that you are open to all sorts of new ideas. And that means that you're moving forward in a positive way. So
well said, Aileen.
So let's find that golden nugget for you today. And here we are.
Right along.
Yeah, the two blondes. Here we are, two blondes with passion. Yes, we do love to have our passionate drink, don't we?
Yes, we do. We do love bubbly. So, you know, and what's a picture without a little bubbly?
I think so. Cheers, everybody. Let's get started.
All right. All systems go for 2017. Can you believe that we're almost at the end of another year?
I can't believe when I look at all the Christmas decorations that are hanging around thinking, what happened to the days? My mom used to put up the Christmas tree on December 24th.
Yeah, not so much anymore. I mean, if you go into some place like Costco in August, Christmas is already starting to creep in. Well, and I feel, you know, as if I just put away my Christmas decorations from last year, and it's pretty soon going to be time to pull them out again. It's pretty scary.
It is pretty scary.
The older you get, the faster time goes. I would hate to see that. It's going by in a flash.
And we're so young.
Yes, we are.
But all systems go. I really like I like this whole concept because we really have to take a look at the systems that we've got in place to see, you know, where we have been and where we are going.
Yeah, and you can't really know where you're going until you know where you've been.
And I love this little quote that you found for us, Catherine. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And guess what? Nothing changes if nothing changes.
The definition of insanity is
doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Well, girlfriend, it doesn't happen that way.
No. And you know, in all our years, Catherine, what is the one thing that we see over and over again? The same thing.
And for people struggling, it's really interesting because, you know, we've been doing this a long time. And occasionally somebody may have talked to us 5-6 years ago, even further back. And then we talk to them today and they're a little bit worse off, but they're still doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
They didn't implement or do anything new. So don't get caught in that old trap. I know that, you know, time goes by in a flash, but you need to understand that you have to be able to look back to see where you are before you can move forward in a fashion where you can actually have a starting point. So we're going to talk about, like, you know, where that starting point is, and that starting point is today.
And let's face it, slideshows from road trips are really fun. We get to look at, you know, where we've been over the past little while, the places that we visited, the restaurants that we ate at. It is just a fantastic voyage, isn't it?
It is.
But really analyzing our business in a way is kind of the same thing. It's a slideshow of the past year.
Yes.
And, you know, if we look at it in the positive attitude that it was a road trip that we really enjoyed, and how we're going to make our road trip better next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, every day I want you to think about doing something that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. Where is our better tomorrow? And what do we need to do to get there? And that's really what we're going to discuss today. What do we need to do to change what we did last year to make it better?
Exactly. And when you can sit down and take a look at the last year, and now we're going to move it forward and look at how we're going to change that into the new year. And as Kath and I were saying, like, you know, some of the people that we worked with over the last 5 or 10 years, and, you know, to see them still struggling, because change is hard, but change is also big. You know, sometimes we tend to look at our business and we're overwhelmed by the changes that are necessary that need to be done. So when we talk about all systems go, if you just take one of your systems and work on it next year, that would be fantastic. And when you get a handle on that, then tackle the next one. So rather than thinking about the whole picture, you know, how do you eat an elephant?
The same as a hamburger.
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
Exactly. So that's what we really want you to think about, okay? One bite at a time.
All right, so let's get going. So looking back to move forward. So I am an analysis girl. I really like to be able to look at numbers, because numbers, you can take the emotion out.
You got it.
You know, because I will often say to people, so how, you know, what did you do? How was the last month? Oh, we were really busy. And I go, okay, so what does that look like? Tell me what your dollars were. Well, I'll have to phone my accountant or my bookkeeper. No, wrong. You need to know on every single day, basically, what you're doing. And then you can look back and analyze it properly. So analysis, you need to analyze your business. I don't care if you're one person.
Well, in fact, one person is a business.
Yeah.
One person is a business.
You
can analyze and sit back and take a look at your slideshow from last year. Mm-hmm. Now, Catherine's into analysis and I'm into goals and targets. And so one of the things that we want you to take a look at is, did you have a goal for 2016? Last year, a year ago, were you sitting down to figure out what you were going to do this year? So take a look at that number, and did you reach it? Were you close? Did you go over? Were you under? Mm-hmm. What are the things that assisted or hindered you in achieving that goal?
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we really mean by analysis. It's a really good sit down. It's a self-chat.
Yeah, that's exactly. And you know what? Don't bury your head in the sand. If your year wasn't what you hoped it would be, all the more reason to really break the numbers down, see what you did, and move forward. Because in doing that, you at least have an educated chance of doing better this year. If you bury your head in the sand and you just keep doing the same old, well, I mean, really, that is the definition of insanity.
It is. And it is kind of sad too, because it's actually really easy to do the analysis, especially if you're listening to this webinar. It means that you're probably a Vagaro user. So you have no excuse, because all the information you need is at your fingertips. And your Vagaro makes your analysis really easy.
Yeah.
And start using this incredible resource that you've got.
You know, and if you don't know how to use it properly, call them up.
Get a hold of support. They are incredible with helping.
Support at vagaro.com. They will help. All right, just some of the reports we need. These are some of the things I always pull when I'm doing my analysis. So a yearly sales summary that tells you exactly what you did for the year. I like to break out retail versus service sales.
And I think that's really important, because they truly are two different categories of sales.
Yeah.
And understanding how both those different numbers work is really important.
And what I always say is, if you are doing less than 20%, so your service sales are 95% and your retail sales are 5% of your total business, you're working harder, not smarter.
You got it. So our goal is to really get you to the point where out of every $100, 80% is given to service and $20 goes into your retail fund.
Absolutely. Then you are working smart.
You got it. And industry statistics on retail versus service is
10, if that.
It's abysmal, people, abysmal. And it's, well, we'll talk a little bit about retail today.
And so, as we said, we don't want to overwhelm you. So we're going to talk about things that we really think are really pertinent to moving forward and what can really change your numbers quickly.
You got it.
Client retention numbers. So that's a report that you need, and you need to do that on a monthly basis. You should know every month what your client retention was for, let's say, 120 days back. So that's 4 months. Mm-hmm. So 4 months back, I saw a bunch of new, let's say 5 new clients. How many of those did I retain? And we will explain as we go through this why that's so important.
You got it.
And then your top 20 clients. That is critical. I just had a meeting this morning on Skype with someone who wanted to grow their business, but their retention of their existing clients is not good. And I went, why are you trying to grow your business? Instead of that, focus on retaining the clients you have and not spending money going out and getting new ones. Because if you're not retaining the ones you have,
why bring in new ones?
It's just going to cost you money.
When we talk about the hamster wheel of our industry, this is it. This is probably the most frustrating segment, because continually, Catherine, every single day we hear salon owners say, well, I'm going after new business. Well, what's your retention numbers? And when they tell us their retention numbers and how few of their current clients that they're retaining, we say, why would you spend money bringing in new clients when you can't
retain them? So we're going to talk about that, because that is really, to me, critically important.
Here.
And then breakdown of services. And when I talk about breakdown of services, I'm really talking about, depending on what kind of business you are, how many colors you did last year, how many facials, if you're an aesthetic business, where does your money live? Where, for me, I have always in my spa department gone after facials, because I know that facials bring me in money from retail revenue. So my average ticket for those services is higher rather than eyebrow waxing. Eyebrow waxing is a great add-on.
Right.
So breakdown of services. You need to know where your money's living. Are you doing 100 haircuts and 2 colors?
Yep.
Well, you're working really, really hard.
For sure. And it also, but it's also indicative too, sometimes, of where your talents are. Perhaps you are a far better cutter than you are a colorist, right? Those are the things that by looking at this analysis, it can really see. So it can show you your strengths, and it can help you determine what you're going to market next year.
Exactly.
There's so many great things, but you have to understand where your dollars live. What category do they fall into?
And on we go. And as I said, if you can't find those reports, or you're not sure how to get them out of your system, call support@vagaro.com and they will help you.
You got it.
So your yearly sales summary. So all you have to do is take your numbers for the year, divide it by 12, and that will give you your average month.
You got it. So for example, let's say you did, pick a number.
We'll say $1,000 for the month.
Okay. So that means that you're doing $12,000 in a year. And so say you've got $1,000 per month, right? You also want to know in that $1,000 where each of that category is. It's not just the total, but you will also know exactly where you were for how much cutting, how much coloring, and all the other little categories that we've got, right?
Yeah.
The other thing you want to do, of course, is divide your service and retail.
Yes, take the service and retail out separately, so that you will know on a monthly basis what was service and what was retail.
Here's one that's really important. You must understand what your current average ticket is. And it's amazing, actually, how many service providers really don't understand what their average ticket price is. So let's just quickly give them the formula for that.
Synopsis on an average ticket. So it's your total, so service and retail, divided by the number of clients
You're
you're seeing or who you saw that month. And you divide the service and retail total by the number of clients that walk through the door, and that is your average ticket.
Exactly. And it just gives you an average idea of what your clients are spending in the salon. And it's a really good way to also target, to set goals, etc. If you know that your clients are spending an average of $50 a month with you, or say they're spending $150 a visit with you, you know what you have to do to bring those dollars up.
Right. So an interesting aside to this is in my own business in Winnipeg, I'm not an active, I don't work in that business. The other owners are there. But, what I noticed when I looked at the reports is we are actually doing less clients than we used to, but we are making more money.
Your average ticket
Our
price,
average ticket has gone up significantly.
And now, is that working smarter, not harder? Hello, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather earn, $200 per client rather than $150 per client?
Yes.
So and there are definitely ways to do that. And that, again, we're going to be talking about some of that as we move forward today. And
the biggie that we'll talk about when we talk about client retention is how many new clients are you seeing per month?
You got it.
So that's definitely a number that I want you to find out. You need to be on top of that.
It's most important.
All right. So we are going to move along, and we're going to talk about areas of focus for 2017. Now, these are what Aileen and I believe are significant areas of focus, and you can really grow your numbers if you focus on these areas. You may have other things that you want to target, but we're just, rather than trying to overwhelm you with everything, we are giving you a very succinct, shorter list of areas to focus on.
And believe me, if you focus on these areas, you will make more money next year.
Hear, hear. I'm all about that.
I'm all about the love.
And I will tell you that, Aileen and I sit down and do this for our own companies.
Absolutely. Well, how do you know? How would we possibly know what we're going to achieve next year?
I do this on a quarterly basis.
Absolutely.
Once a quarter, I break out all the numbers, and when I sit down and we have our meeting, strategically, I can make a plan because here we have the numbers, and it takes all the emotion out of it.
You got it. Yeah, because numbers don't speak back to you,
and they don't lie.
And they don't lie. And it's so much easier to discuss with somebody the numbers.
Yeah,
because you can say this is the reality, and it's also a way to coach people as well.
Yep, for sure.
But that's a whole new webinar on that one.
Yeah, I think we've done that one.
Yeah.
So average ticket. So let's talk about your average ticket. If you increase your average ticket by even $5, it can significantly increase revenues.
For sure.
And we're going to talk $5 per ticket is not a lot. So, I just did a little math. And so if you're a full-time provider and you do 5 clients per day, and you're 5 days a week, that's 107 clients per month.
Based on 20 days of work, correct?
Yes.
How did you get?
Oh, no, I based it on more than that.
Did you? Okay.
So
just
5 days times 4.3 is what I did.
I see.
4.3 is how many weeks are in
a month?
A month. So
thank you for that clarification.
That's okay. See,
we all need clarification.
You had to get me thinking.
Yeah.
So 107 clients per month. So times 5, that's $537 per month extra for really not working any harder.
Yep.
And times 12, that's $6,450 per year. That's a raise of $6,450 per year for raising your average ticket by only $5 a client.
And that's just one service provider. Imagine you've got a salon with 4, 6, or 8 stylists, and every single one of them could increase their average ticket price by $5. We're talking about significant increases in your revenue. And to be honest, if you aren't looking at this really what I consider a bare minimum income, you are looking at going backwards, because believe me, what's happening in your industry is not staying the same.
No, we need to always be moving forward. So let's look at how we can raise our average ticket, because I think, this bears a lot of conversation.
It does. And here's the big thing is look at your pricing. Is it time to raise your prices? Because as I said, in our industry, your lease rates are not going to stay the same. Your electricity rates, your product costs, none of them are going to hold their rates for you. None of them are going to say, oh, gee, Catherine, you're not going to raise your prices. Oh, I guess we won't raise our prices either. No, not happening. So we have to continually look at our prices in relation to the market around us.
Absolutely. I mean, good case in point in my own business here in Victoria. My trichology expert, she is booked out and she has at least a month waiting list. She's booking at least a month in advance plus a waiting list. Is it time for me to raise my prices?
You betcha.
Yes, it is. Will our prices be going up? Her prices are going up $10 per service January 1st.
You got it. And yes, sometimes it is very scary raising your prices, because this is the one thing that we hear is the fear from our service providers. Well, if I raise my price, I will lose my clients. Well,
you may lose a couple.
You may lose a couple, but believe me, if you're a good service provider, your clients are going to stay with you. And if you leave 1 or 2, it leaves room for you to connect with clients who can afford to pay for you. Because as you grow as a service provider, your abilities and your talents grow. So you become worth more.
Absolutely. And I hear it all the time. You've got that one client and you dread telling them that the price has gone up because they just are nasty about it.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They're vocal.
Yeah. You just bite the bullet. And if they decide to leave, more power to you. But here's the thing. Those aren't the clients that are going to leave.
No.
The squeaky wheel. They'll stay, make your life miserable. Trust me. But
sometimes maybe you can raise them too high sometimes.
But really, don't be afraid of raising your prices. Everything goes up. I use this example all the time. We never know how much we're going to pay for gas when we go to the pump, do we?
No, we don't.
It changes every week, I'm sure.
Daily, I think.
Yeah. And really, is there anything we can do about it? No, we can say, but we pay it.
You got it.
And so if you lose a couple of clients because you raise your prices, you will make more in the long run.
You got it. Imagine going to the pump and saying, well, I'm not going to fill my tank because the gas rate is too high. Not going to happen.
You're going to be walking.
Right? Now, I do have one thing that I want to add about this, because my pet peeve is walking into salons and seeing a note on the counter saying, unfortunately, due to rising costs, our prices are going up on January the 1st or whatever. And I dislike it because that sign only stays up for 4 to 6 weeks. And then after that, the clients come in and then they get to the till and they say, oh, that's more than I paid last time. Did your prices go up? Oh, yes, we had a price increase on January the 1st. Well, they didn't see the sign. And they usually just pay the price. Why do we have to announce it?
We don't.
I don't think we do.
No, we definitely do not. So there is one place right there to raise your average ticket without really trying very hard.
You got it.
And if you are a stylist who is booked more than 80% of the time, or 85% max, then it is time to raise your prices.
You got it. You got it. Work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
Okay, this is next one is one of our favorite things in the entire world. It's add-on services. Excuse me.
And we should all be offering something. And the famous one for add-ons is Eileen loves to talk about McDonald's.
Do you want fries with that?
Great add-on. Now, we are not McDonald's, and we are not saying that we think you're McDonald's, but we do offer services, and there are other things that we could be doing. All we're doing is informing the clients.
Exactly. So, for example, somebody is sitting in your chair and say they just do an overall color. And you and I both know that doing an overall color is kind of bland and boring, right? It gives it that same look. What about saying, hey, Catherine, why don't we do a couple slices through the top with some foil just to give a little bit of dimension?
Yeah, that could be a $10 add-on.
Exactly. There you go. What about, and
how much more time does that take? Minutes.
Minutes, right? So there's when you think about it, there's so many add-on services. When you're in the, taking them to the back bar for their shampoo and conditioner, say, listen, I've noticed that your hair seems a little dry today. How would you feel if we did an extra moisturizing pack for you today?
Yep.
$10.
There you go. Have a list of add-on services that you talk about.
All the time.
Make a little list of add-on services. Put it up. I call them mirror stickers. So you can have it on your mirror. Make sure it's beautifully done.
Yes, please.
Or if you are a nail tech or do facials, on all of our nail beds, on all of our pedicure tubs, we have a lovely laminated list of add-on services. On the beds, when clients go in, we talk about add-ons for facials.
Yep.
So put it out there. If you don't ask, you don't get, and we'll get to that.
Well, and the other add-on that I feel really strongly about, Catherine, is the add-on when we're doing retail as well. If someone's buying shampoo, we have to say, do you want conditioner to go with that?
Absolutely.
If we're buying a styling product, do you need hairspray to go with that? It's so easy, and it's up to the client. They will say no if they don't want it. But here's the thing, 30% of your clients will accept the add-on offering.
Yeah.
30%.
Well, and I think I was just telling you, I picked up a couple of the straightening brushes that are all the go right now. And I brought them into the center, and I sold both of them in the same day. You know how I sold them? Because I told the clients about them. I showed them how they work, how easy they are, and they were sold. Boom. There was $200 that I would not have made had I not.
Exactly. Well, and I've got to tell you a cute story because, I volunteer at the art gallery and I work in their retail shop occasionally. And we have a little dish of little pins and they're $4.95. But the sales of these little pins go to support the art gallery, which of course, I'm passionate about. And without fail, when I'm working in the shop, everybody who comes to the till, when they finish, I said, and would you like to purchase a pin in support of the art gallery? And you know what? I'm going to say half the people buy a pin. And so one of the girls who actually runs the store said to me, you're the only volunteer that does that. She's not going to make you the pin queen. But here's the thing is that those extra pins that's $5 more from every client that goes to support our local art gallery.
But you ask.
Exactly.
That's
all you have to do is ask.
Absolutely. New service offerings.
Well, this is huge.
I think it's really, look at the industry, see what's out there. And is there something that you are not offering that you could perhaps add in?
You got it.
There's...
well, I think the big one, of course, is a residue on scalp treatment, which is something that every salon should be offering their clients at least once a year.
Yes.
And it's brand new. I shouldn't say it's brand new. It's been around for a while, but it hasn't been something that the salon industry has jumped on.
No,
and they should be.
Because it's all about hygiene of the scalp. And just shampooing your hair is not going to get rid of the waxes and even silicone. And I mean, a lot of our shampoos now are paraben free. They don't have silicone. But I'll tell you, you cannot make a styling product without some of those things in it.
Exactly.
Because it just would not fly. It would not work.
It doesn't hold.
Yeah. So everybody needs to have their scalp cleaned off at least once a year. Check into it. There are companies out there that offer great products to be able to do that.
Look at your service menu and see what you can do that's going to be different. The other thing is even consider even packaging your current services in a different way to make it appear new to your clients.
Yes.
There's all sorts of ways to make new service offerings. Change the way the way you call your services.
Yes. Yeah. Give it a new name.
Give it a new name, you know?
And then retail, because retail is the single most underutilized asset in our salons.
Is it ever? And it's extremely frustrating because again, we were talking about this earlier, Kat. Mm-hmm. We are all afraid to ask for the sale.
Totally.
And yet the professional salon industry produces incredible products. I ran out of hairspray recently and I was desperate. I was on my way to the airport and I was desperate. I stopped at the drugstore and I picked up some inexpensive hairspray. Now, did it work? No, it did not. I was so disappointed in my wasted dollars. There is such a huge difference between the retail products you can pick off of any shelf and the products that we represent. And the fact that we don't get them into our consumers' hands drives me crazy.
It is a huge disconnect in our industry. We all think we're artists. We don't sell. But we do sell. Seriously, that's what we're all about. And really, if you don't like the word, take it away. We educate.
That's right. Educate and prescribe.
Educate.
I always like to say, tell, don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you tell somebody about a great product, you know, like Catherine, this product is going to give your hair the foundation it needs to support the style we've just given to you. And the client might say, well, why? I say, well, here's why. And they go, great. I need that. Yes, you do. You need that if you want to have your hair look the way it does right now.
We have an acronym, actually. Oh, where did my acronym go?
Where is your acronym?
Look at you.
Oh, I think it's further along.
Oh, is it further along? Yeah. My acronym is further along. We'll tell you about the acronym later. All right. Here is the elephant in the room.
Oh, boy.
Moving on to client retention. Where did your customers go?
This is the most frightening thing. Our industry average is under 30% retention of new clients. Ouch isn't even a strong enough word.
Well,
what are you thinking, people? 30%.
I didn't think they would like if I put the real word there. That, I thought Vagaro might not really care for that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I just went ouch. But really, when you think about it, it's expensive to get one new client through your door. Why, oh, why would we not try to do more to keep them?
And 30% retention, that means that out of every 10 clients who are walking through your doors, only 3 of them are hanging around to remain one of your clients.
Now, the only way you are going to know how many of those clients stick around is if you actually pull a report.
Aha! Going right back to the circle.
Yeah. And once a month, at the beginning of every month, you should be pulling a report, whether you are one person or have a salon of 10.
You got it.
You need to be pulling that report because, we forget. And I used to say go back 90 days. I think now if we go back 120 days, it's more indicative. People are pushing out their appointments.
Yeah. So you need that little bit of extra time to see, are they coming back or not?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is the most important thing you can do, because if you don't know and understand why your clients aren't staying, there's no point in spending your money and bringing new clients in. You must understand the behavior of the clients who are coming into your salon. You must understand the behavior of the service providers and the staff that are working within your salon to understand what is happening here that the clients aren't coming back, because that's the only real power that we have to make changes is to understand what's happening.
Absolutely. Again, understanding your numbers. You're not burying your head in the sand. You know. It's only when you know that you can facilitate change.
And here's some of the things that we see. We see some really great stylists performing incredible services, and yet their clients don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to think, okay, so there you sit down and you try and figure out, okay, what's happening? So you have to almost observe and watch and figure out what's happening. Is the service provider rude in some way? Are they unfriendly? Like, what's happening? Because you can't help them move forward and improve their services without understanding the behavior.
Yeah. And I mean, it could be the surroundings.
It could be, right?
You know, that they're not comfortable. Somehow they're not comfortable in the surroundings.
Maybe they just dislike the parking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things. And there's lots of things that are quickly and easily fixed to improve your retention numbers.
So how are we going to do that? So I have some questions for you. Do you follow up their visit with a thank you note? My belief is that within a week,
Yes.
of someone being in your space, that you should follow up with a thank you note. And if you're a single operator, you can absolutely have some little cards and send out a handwritten note. Makes a huge difference. I think it's way different than sending an email to someone.
It is. And, people love to get handwritten notes.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that if you can improve your retention rates, because thank you notes are something that you really only send out to new clients, or perhaps, just on a whim because you want to take care of somebody.
Yeah.
But if you can improve your retention rates, the number of thank you notes you send out to new clients will actually go down.
And then the other thing, do you send out miss you letters after 120 days? I have one here. I thought I'd read it a little bit for you, just to kind of give you a feel for what it is that we send out. And it starts off with, I feel awful. Did we do something wrong? Dear Aileen, I'm concerned. Is everything okay? It's been quite a while since we've seen you here at Catherine's salon. I get worried when I don't hear from valued clients like you. Is there something we've done wrong, or were you dissatisfied with your last visit to us for some reason? I want you to realize we're here for you, and we sincerely care about you and your health and well-being. So if something is wrong, please let us know, and I'll make sure we attend to it. I'd really like to see you again, and that's why I'm writing to you. I'd like to make a special one-time offer. I'm going to give you a $50 you can use towards any services, no strings attached. And it goes on to just talk about the services. But isn't it better to send that out? It's like less than $1.
Well, it is,
send that
because
out.
Imagine, first of all, there's a couple things here. If we don't do these kinds of things, we are burying our heads in the sand. We are ignoring that there may be a problem with our services. So we have to face up to and accept criticisms from our clients sometimes. So I always believe that by solving a problem, we create clients that will never, ever forget us, and they will be loyal till hell freezes over, because we solved a problem for them. So one of the things that letter does is it solves problems, or it anticipates problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? And, sometimes I've actually had clients call up and go, oh no, we were out of town for, 3 months, or we've been away, or, I've been sick. I've actually had clients actually call up when they've received that letter, thank you for the $50, but I will be back.
Yeah. So, and it's amazing. And $50 is so cheap in keeping a client. Yeah. You have to really think that this is a way, this is an inexpensive way of hanging on to your clients.
Yeah. So it's a couple of simple things. Thank you note, miss you letter.
Yeah.
And really, do you know how much money is slipping through your fingers each year?
Well, that's the thing,
because
they're not keeping
mind-boggling.
Well, and I think this is a great example.
Yeah. So let's say you're getting 6 new clients walk through your door in a month. So it's $60 average ticket.
That means that each client spent an average of $60 in your salon.
Yeah. So let's say 33% retention. So like a third stay. So that's 2 of those clients you've retained. So based on 6 visits per year, those 2 clients who have stayed are going to bring you in $8,640 per year. That's based on 2 new clients every month.
Yeah.
If you increase that to 66% retention, so if you kept 4 out of those 6 clients, you're bringing in $17,280 in extra income.
So when all of a sudden, when Catherine and I are talking about retention, you can see how powerful these dollars are. And if we aren't doing our job and keeping those clients in the salon, you're just waving goodbye to your dollars.
Yeah.
Hey, where's that toilet paper roll, of the dollars?
Oh, I still have it.
Yeah. Because that's what it's like. It's like flushing away your dollars.
That was Eileen and I used to use that when we do
on stage
work. And we have a roll of toilet paper that is printed with dollars, and we tear it off and throw it up in the air. But it's true. Can you see how powerful that is? Just based on retaining more clients.
That's the dollars. Imagine if you can get your retention rates up, because the average cost of bringing in a new client is around $100.
Yeah.
When it comes to advertising, et cetera, et cetera. Well, imagine if you have to keep replacing new clients all the time, it's costing you a fortune. But if you can hang on to your clients and increase the amounts of money that they're spending with you, you guys, you're on the winning side.
Absolutely. And, don't be afraid to survey your clients. Don't be afraid to send out a survey and ask why. For many years, we had a lady who was a client who we paid in services, and she would call all of our new clients to see how their visit had been. Mm-hmm. It, paid us in spades, because they would sometimes tell her things that they would not be comfortable telling the owner or the service provider. And I'll tell you, as a service provider, most of the service providers do not want to make that phone call because they're afraid of criticism.
Yeah. Don't
be afraid. Those clients who phone up and complain about something, kiss their feet.
Yes.
Send them out gift certificates. Say, thank you, come back, we will fix it. And send them out an extra gift certificate, because they have given you a gift.
They've allowed you the opportunity to correct a problem. And as we said, when you can solve a problem, you've got a client for life.
Yeah. And honestly, I can't tell you how critical an area of focus this is. We all need to get better at it.
Do we ever? Because if these are the industry averages of 30%, this is frightening. Yeah. You are flushing your money away.
Oh, you did. Just stand at the toilet and throw your money down and flush.
So we're challenging you. This year, 2017, is the year that you are going to keep your clients in your salon.
So reevaluate your systems around client retention immediately.
Yes.
And next month, we are going to talk about guest path, because in having a guest path, that shows you how your systems are, and maybe some of those systems need a little bit of tweaking.
Yep.
That will help you retain more of those clients.
You got it.
So that's next month's webinar. Retail education. Oh, Eileen, you're a retail queen. You love the retail.
I love retail. I love the products. I love the power that products can bring to our industry. What I don't love is how much we ignore it as a huge part of our business. In fact, we've ignored it to the extent that the manufacturers of professional products are seeking other ways to bring their products to the market.
Yeah.
Things like drugstores and superstores and grocery stores and all sorts of other stores. If we take ownership of these product lines, there's no reason why they need to be in the retail section. But it goes to show you that the consumer wants the products that we are selling, because they're going places to find it. And retail has an absolute direct correlation to client retention and the average ticket price. Well, you can see why it would have it to the average ticket price, because if your client goes home with a product as we used in the last sample of $60, that they go home with a shampoo or whatever they've gone, their average ticket price has gone up $10 or $20.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's a no-brainer to me.
Right. But I think the most important one is about, in fact, I think, Catherine, we've got our acronym next, and maybe we'll just use the acronym because it talks about this.
Yeah. Clients who are informed about their at-home care and purchase product are more likely to be retained. They trust you.
And if you go to the next slide,
here we go.
So retention, it sends subliminal messages that makes your clients think of you, and product sales represent loyalty. And we know that the more products that your clients go home with, the more tied to you they feel. So their loyalty increases. And by subliminal message, we mean that when your product is in their bathroom or in their shower, when they pick it up, it's an automatic memory of their visit to your salon. So it's an opportunity for you to be sending them these little messages. So from a point of view of retention, the more you sell, the more likely they are to be staying with you. So the loyalty is absolutely imperative.
Yeah.
Extension of service, because by showing your clients how to use products at home, you are giving them a service.
Yeah. And you're teaching them how to recreate or maintain the look you've given them, or the beautiful skin that you've just uncovered for them.
How many times, Catherine, have we heard clients say, oh, well, I couldn't do my, you gave me this haircut or this style or whatever, but I couldn't do it at home. And why? Probably because they didn't have or know or understand how to use the products they had.
At my salon in Winnipeg, we're a big, big salon storefront. And I can't tell you how many times people came in and they're looking around. They don't get their hair done in our center, but they're looking around. Well, my stylist used some kind of product, but I can't. I said, did they sell it to you? No, but it was something for styling. So guess what? They're fair game as far as I'm concerned.
Here.
So not only do we sell them a product, but I also give them a gift certificate to come back and experience a haircut in our space.
Exactly. And guess what? There's one of the reasons why that other salon doesn't have retention, is because they didn't send their clients home with the proper product.
Yeah, you're allowing them to go someplace else.
Exactly. So tell, don't sell, because again, we hear from our industry, we don't like to sell. Well, we don't really believe that you have to sell. We believe that if you educate and prescribe how your client is going to handle their style at home, that's all you have to do.
This is what I'm using in your hair today. This is why I'm using it. And this is going to be the benefit to your hair.
You got it.
Or conversely, skincare.
Exactly. Just explain what, why, and how you're using a product. Catherine, today I am going to be using a volumizing shampoo because it will give an extra volume to the style that we've created to give you a bit of lift at the root. And when you're using it at home, you just need to use one shampoo.
Thank you, Aileen.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. And then assume one thing only.
Well, we're famous for assuming, aren't we?
We are. We assume a lot.
And not just you and me, but the entire world.
But most people assume things the wrong way.
Exactly.
They think, I don't think she can afford it. Or, I charged her $150 and I
can't ask her for more money.
Stop that.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got products at home. They don't need anything from me.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Our customers, assume one thing only. Our customers want what we have to offer.
And again, as I mentioned earlier, the proof is that the manufacturers of professional products are finding other ways to get their products into the marketplace because our clients want what we have to offer.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So give it to them.
And inspire with products, because the great thing about professional products is they do help you create beautiful styles. Mm-hmm. And not just the products themselves, but you think about the education that those professional manufacturers put out there, or the artwork, the posters, it's inspiring to see all of the work.
It is.
So use it.
And then learn it and love it.
Yes.
You have to know your products, plain and simple. You have to believe in them. You have to love them. And if you just share that with your clients,
it's a no-brainer, you guys. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So that's our little acronym for retail, and
Yeah.
it's a powerful one.
It is. So finally, Catherine, this is probably the most important rule that rules the world. It isn't just in our industry, it's everywhere. The 80-20 rule. And the basic premise is that productivity, 80% of productivity comes from 20% of the top.
Yeah.
And that can be in crops, that can be in selling cars, that can be in hair, that can be in the clients that sit in our chair. Anywhere we go, that could be in our staff. 80% of the productivity or the 80% of the revenues come from 20% of the service providers. Yeah. It's a rule that covers everything. So let's look at how we can use the 80-20 rule when it comes to our client base.
Yeah. And this all goes back to retention. So
Absolutely.
You better know the top 20% of your clients inside out. You need to know their name. You need to know their likes and dislikes. You need to pamper them. You need to treat them to special promotions or events. You need to send them a random thank you card.
There we go, that random thank you card.
Just thanking them, because we all like to feel appreciated and special. And I can't tell you how many times I have heard this in the 40 years that I've been around this industry. I hear it from clients all the time. Well, they always have promotions on for new clients, but what am I?
Yeah, but what am I?
I'm the bread and butter.
You got it.
But our bread and butter, we must treat those people well. One thing that we did for a number of years, and it went over really well, was that just before the holidays, we sent out the top 20% of our clients. We would send them out a thank you, and in it, we would put a gift voucher for them and a gift voucher for them to give out to a friend who had never been to our center before. And it was to help them with their gift giving.
Well, it's such a fantastic idea, because not only do you reward the client, but you also found a way to reach out to new clients.
Yeah, so it was double
a win-win.
And we did have a couple of clients bring in both certificates and use them. Did I honor them? Of course I did, because they were the top 20% of our clients. You will get a little bit of that. I have actually had one salon that I talked to about this that wouldn't do it, because that's what they were afraid of. Mm-hmm. You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. Just bend the rules.
Absolutely. Again, it's that thing, something else we were talking about this morning. You have to give to get.
Yeah. But these top 20%, they can be your best form of marketing.
Because believe me, if they're that loyal and you're rewarding them that well, they will talk about you ad nauseum.
Yes, absolutely.
And, great clients feel that they own their salon. They talk about them all the time. I hear it on a regular basis, when I'm out and about in social gatherings. Well, my salon or my stylist. And there's mm-hmm. this sense of ownership, right? Yeah. Because they're really proud to be associated with that business.
Yeah. So really, again, you can get this from your Vagaro system. So you may know some of them, but some of them may be interesting when you actually do the numbers. So those clients, you are going to pamper them. You're going to treat them with kid gloves, because you can't afford to lose those clients.
Exactly.
And we always lose a few clients, due to attrition. You may get, and in my business, we have a lot of clients who unfortunately pass away, because I deal with a lot of cancer patients. However, in the hair industry, attrition usually is people moving away. There's, a number of things, but it's usually a small percentage.
Exactly.
And if you are really, working with and know those clients, they're going to stay. Because I'll tell you, I had clients for over 20 years in my one location mm-hmm. when I worked there. And when I moved away, they were some pretty upset people. And when I would go back and see them, we always had this lovely relationship.
Yeah. And guess what? They stayed at the salon.
And
too.
they stayed at the salon.
Yeah.
So this is what I want you to think about. So Christmas is coming. This is a good time to be reaching out to those clients, and
they deserve it,
and give them something special.
Yeah, you got it.
One of our very best clients loves Starbucks. So I am going to send her a $50 Starbucks card, because every time she uses that Starbucks card until it's used up, guess who she's going to think about?
You got it. And it takes a while to go through the $50.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to customize for our clients, but you don't have to do that. You can just send them a gift certificate. So that
takes us into our wrap up, Catherine, because like these are the takeaways that we really want you to think about over the next couple of weeks as you're planning for 2017. Enjoy your holidays. You know, you're coming into the busiest time of the year, but don't forget the carrot in front of the stick. 2017, you've got to move forward.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this. Number one, Kath.
What are you going to do? You're going to analyze. It's the only way that you are going to move forward with any kind of clarity.
So you want to focus on your key areas.
And that's going to be
average ticket,
client retention,
retail, the Holy Grail.
And it is the Holy Grail.
It is the Holy Grail.
Those
extra
three things.
Money.
Yeah. And always, always, always look after your top 20% of clients.
You got it. So that's pretty simple thing. It's really 4 areas that we've given to you to really take a look at. And that makes it really easy. It's not overwhelming or whatever.
It's not overwhelming.
Take a look at what you did this year in those areas, and then let's move forward. Ask yourself if what you are doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow.
Here's to a successful and profitable 2017.
Hallelujah. Because after all, we are nothing if we are not the profitable
salon owner.
So if you'd like to reach out to us, we are info@theprofitablesalonowner.com.
If you would like a PDF of this presentation, you can get in touch with support
at Vagaro.com.
And we hope you enjoyed this. We hope you took at least one golden nugget. If you didn't take one thing out of this, then I need to meet you, because you must be doing it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, we will see you in December. I think we've got December 19th booked for our next webinar.
And we're going to be doing guest pass,
which is perfect for Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great month. We will see you soon. Take care.
Bye now.